Welcome back to Hannity. Frank Luntz has not only been bringing the American people together with our elected leaders, he's also been testing dozens of political ads using his patented dial system to see which messages really resonate with voters and which fall flat. Now, one ad stood above the rest. In fact, it generated one of the most positive reactions of any ads this year. Now, watch the lines on the right side of the screen to get the second-by-second feedback from the bipartisan group of voters.
It is essential that we learn the lessons from this crisis, so we don't doom ourselves to repeat it.
Pay as you go, no new deficit spending.
We're going to go bankrupt as a nation. Now, people say, when I say that, people look at me and say, what are you talking about, Jeff? You're telling me we got to go spend money to keep from going bankrupt? The answer, yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Why was it so good? Why did it connect to you?
There is an 800-pound gorilla in the room, and we're all ignoring it, going la la la.
And we'll remember that. That was the one that we remember. Debt is an 800-pound gorilla.
Right. It's a common analogy. Everyone can relate to that.
So you all just spent an hour with some pretty powerful people, going back and forth with them. Do you think that they hear you? Do you think that they care?
I think some definitely do hear from us and some don't. I mean, from some of the people we heard speak, some did speak from their heart and they were convicted of what they said, and I really appreciate that and I respect that. But other people, you could still tell that it was more of a kind of like a campaignish, like, hey, I'm trying to sell this to you, and I can't stand that.
They all hear us. There's a difference between hearing someone and listening to someone and actually putting, what we're saying, what we need into action. It's great to hear all these strategies. We all know it's not rocket science, but the problem is, why haven't these strategies been put into effect far before we got into this ditch that we dug ourselves into?
Are we going to be a more divided country going forward, Kathy?
I actually think so. I love what I saw in Ryan's proposal, but I don't for 1 minute believe that he'll get a third of that through.
I don't think that we're necessarily going to be divided. I think that we're just going to have to come to more of an agreement on certain things and agree to disagree. But ultimately, I mean, at the end, we're going to have to come to some type of conclusion to rectify the situation.
The situation lends itself to actually figuring it out regardless of the party lines, because it has to be addressed regardless of where you stand.
Have you guys seen the paintings that are around you? Yeah. If you could just bring that painting of Lincoln. I want to remind you that as divided as we think we are right now, it was nothing compared to what our country has actually gone through. Not only do I love this painting, but this gentleman who's standing behind it, Steve Penley, is the painter of all this stuff here. I hope that we get a chance to do this again, because in the end, it's not just about what the politicians have to say. The truth is, what you have to say matters more, because in the end, there wouldn't be them without you.
And thank you for being with us for the special edition of Hannity, and a big thank you to Frank and all the voters and politicians who